Can't be the only one bothered by SHADOWKIN. It sounds like the answer artificial intelligence would give if you asked it what you call a ninja from Kentucky. Finally, he sleeps here with another video from the Faction Wars series. In order to claim Lydia the Death Siren, the ultimate reward, you'll need to complete all 21 levels in each faction of Faction Wars. Tonight, we'll look at Shadowkins. First, though, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube. Turn on notifications so you never miss when a video goes live. It's simple and free, but makes a big difference to the channel. All right, Shadowkins level 21 presents an interesting challenge. First, because it's the red boss, and second, because the Shadowkin faction is short on revivers. Damage dealers usually aren't a challenge, but keeping everyone alive through the waves and the final fight in order to get 3 stars towards Lydia is. If you've already reached level 21, you have a decent Shadowkin faction to work with. But you always need to remember the rules in Faction Wars as far as player roles go. You're going to need at least 1 damage dealer and or a nuker, a support champion to keep everyone alive, and crowd control to help you through the waves. Now for me, I opted for Taragi the Frog and bolster gear for support and a bit of crowd control thanks to his A2 AoE with Provoke. He also brings shields and ally protection on his A3. There are alternatives to the Frog, which would be Berengiri and Oboro, both epics. Ninja and Genbo are in my team both as crowd control and damage dealers as a pair of nukers. Both of them have powerful AoEs. There are lots of alternatives to damage dealers. Off the top of my head, I would say Oboro, Genturo, and if you were lucky enough to pick him up as targeted champion when he was released, Mishinaki, the Ghost Rider. Honestly, this faction is full of damage dealers, so heavy damage shouldn't be an issue. What is going to be an issue is reviving. Sachi is one of the only revivers in the faction, but a revive is a passive, not an active skill. If she can kill someone, she'll revive a dead ally. That's not a reliable reviver, but it does come into play. Mostly, it's going to be about timing, though. You may need to manual the second round of waves to make sure you bring everyone alive into the final battle if you're using Sachi's passive 2. Since there are no minions with the red boss, because once you make it to the final chapter, if somebody dies, Sachi's passive is not going to bring them back because you can't kill a minion. Now, better alternatives to Sachi are Kingashi and Gamurin. Those 3 make up the only 3 revivers in the faction. Timing and patience are going to be your friend here. Let's see. The boss, especially since this is the red boss and I opted for the low HP shield technique. That whole thing with timing on getting Sachi to make sure everybody's alive to the final comes in. It's very important. Now, the low HP shield technique is specific to the red boss only. And it's because the red boss's A1 hits based on enemy max HP. That means if you can bring along a very slow and very weak champ that you can keep alive into the final round and then protect them with ally shields based on the ally's HP and not the weak champion's HP, the shield will keep them both as the boss's A1 target and alive while everyone else hammers away at them. Now, I have a full video devoted to the low HP shield technique, so if you're interested in how and why it works, check that out. The link is in the description. I mean, there's a lot going on here, but that low HP shield technique worked great for Shadowkin, giving me the edge I needed to make it through the 3 stars. Now, you can get through this faction a ton of different ways, and you do not need these specific champs. You don't even have to use the Faction Wars low HP shield technique. Besides her A1 targeting enemy HP, the red boss has a self-cleanse and an AoE that puts stun on everyone except for one, her target, who gets a True Fear. It then grants her an extra turn with her A1. True Fear and stun cannot be resisted here, so you're going to focus on defense and HP instead of resist. Now, her passive is a turn meter bump. For every 1% of HP she loses when she's attacked, her turn meter goes up 2%. That means decreased speed and decreased turn meter champs are going to help slow her down. You're going to need high HP and high defense. Remember, because resist won't help on the red boss. That's about it for level 21 in the SHADOWKIN faction. If you have other factions you're struggling with, check out the channel. All of the links for the full series are in the video description. If this information helped you along the way toward your run towards Lydia, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. It's a small gesture that goes a long way toward the growth of the channel. I'm Finally He Sleeps. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And as always, as long as you keep watching, I'll keep making videos.